I thought I was just buying my dream house, but instead, I got a ticket to freedom. It was a survival game I was not going to lose. Where are you? Stop fooling around. Everything's gone from the house. What's happening? I left and took my things. What? Why did you do that? We're divorcing, so I decided to leave. Divorcing? What are you talking about? Yes, I've already filed the papers. My name is Sarah. I'm 30 years old, and I work in an office. I was married to Michael for 5 years. Initially, everything was calm, nothing remarkable but bearable. Over time, cracks began to show. 2 years ago, Michael quit his job to start a business. I fully supported him, believing in his dream, but it never took off, draining our savings. I had to cover all the expenses, rent, groceries, utilities, while he tried to cope. If finances had been the only issue, we might have found a solution, but the real problem was his family. Michael's mother and sister still lived in their family home, and every visit there felt like entering enemy territory. They criticized everything I did, made me feel unwelcome, and constantly belittled me. It wasn't just casual remarks, but a relentless stream of judgment that wore me down. Despite having our own apartment only 10 minutes away, Michael insisted on frequent visits to them. Initially, I thought it was part of being a supportive wife, but the more I went there, the worse their insults became. When I started standing up for myself, the situation escalated. Then came the financial pressure. Sarah, I need $500 for a friend's birthday gift. Can you lend me the money? $500? What are you buying? A yacht? You're so stingy, Sarah. Doesn't Michael support you? You can't even do this little thing for your sister-in-law. I looked at her, stunned. Support me? I was the one paying all the bills, and Michael hadn't contributed a cent in over a year. And as for his sister, why didn't she get a job instead of relying on her mother? Before I could respond, Michael intervened. Sarah, just give her the $500. His mother smiled. Michael, you're such a good son. Then his sister, looking as if she'd been denied her favorite toy, added, Can you give me $300 too? I need to buy something. Michael didn't even hesitate. Of course Sarah has $300 in her purse. Just take it, as if my hard-earned money was his to distribute. And when that wasn't enough, he said, Thanks to me, we have a place to live. I just stared at him, dumbfounded. Later, in the car, I couldn't help myself. Why do you act like the breadwinner when you don't even pay the bills? He shrugged. I have pride as the eldest son. This triggered another argument. If you give them money once, they'll keep asking, I warned. Making Mom happy isn't a bad thing, he defended. Michael, we can't afford it. We're barely surviving, and you haven't contributed a dime. We need to save. From that point, all we did was argue until one day it struck me. Why am I putting up with this? The final straw was when Michael said, Hey, let's go to my mom's place. I didn't even look up. Go by yourself. His expression darkened. A wife should go with her husband. I threw him a glance. Really? Then why do you never come with me when I visit my parents? He clicked his tongue in irritation and left. Honestly, that weekend was the most peaceful I'd had in years. No overbearing in-laws, no demanding sisters, just silence, peace, freedom. For the first time in a long while, I could think clearly. I spent the next 2 days focusing on what truly mattered, dreaming about my own home. I browsed listings, ordered brochures, and spent hours envisioning how I'd decorate it, a space that would be mine, free of judgments and ungrateful people draining me. When Michael finally returned home, it felt like a weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I was lighter, stronger, and more confident than ever. "Oh, you're back," I greeted him calmly. He ignored me, sulking like a child. It was pathetic. Shouldn't an adult man know how to act? I didn't engage, just turned away and started making dinner, quietly planning my next move. I'd had enough. It was time to take control of my life. And then he suddenly spoke. "You've become too stubborn lately." I turned to him, puzzled. "Stubborn? Just because I refused to visit your mom and sister?" "Yes," he replied, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. "A wife should obey her husband. If you can't do that, maybe we should divorce." "Divorce?" I blinked, stunned. After all our arguments, I didn't expect him to say it so easily. He leaned back, arms crossed, with an annoying smirk on his face. "You don't want me to go, do you?" He paused, clearly expecting me to panic, or perhaps even cry. "Well, I'm angry with you. I've already signed my part of the divorce papers. If you cross me again, I'll file them." "Think it over." With that, he turned and confidently added, "I'm taking a shower. Hurry with the dinner." As soon as the water started running, I couldn't help but smile to myself. "Oh, Michael, you have no idea. You just handed me the key to my freedom." I went back to the kitchen and continued prepping dinner, but this time with a light heart, a quiet joy gradually filling me. All those years of walking on eggshells, trying to keep the peace, hoping Michael would change. But this was the liberation I'd been waiting for. From that day on, I meticulously saved every dollar I could. Every extra penny went straight into my personal account, like a quiet countdown to the life I dreamed of. I lived frugally, avoiding unnecessary expenses, masking my excitement behind a calm, composed exterior. Michael didn't notice. He was too caught up in his sense of control, confident that I would break down and beg him to stay. I don't think he ever imagined I was planning my escape. Months passed, and my plan was unfolding flawlessly. I didn't just want to leave. I wanted to leave with something that symbolized my independence. So I bought a house, a real house, entirely mine, free from his influence. The only step left was moving, and I would do it on my terms. I began packing, but not all at once, slowly and carefully, one box at a time. I sent my belongings to my parents under the pretense of decluttering. They knew everything and were my unwavering support throughout the process. Each step forward lightened the burden I'd carried for so long. When the time came, Michael went away for the weekend to visit his family. Perfect opportunity. That weekend, I packed the last of my things, walked out of the apartment, and didn't look back. That place wasn't a home, it was a cage. Now I was free. My new home was everything I'd dreamed of. Bright, fresh, peaceful. The walls still smelled of fresh paint, and for the first time in a long time, I felt I could truly breathe. I took my time unpacking, savoring each moment of creating my own space. It was my victory. Every corner of the house represented a future free of fear or manipulation. The silence was comforting, and an overwhelming sense of relief washed over me. I no longer had to answer to him. There was no need to brace myself for his moods or deal with his controlling nature. I was in control now. That night, as I finished decorating my home, my phone rang, Michael's name glowing on the screen. A small smile crept onto my lips. I knew exactly why he was calling. "Hey, where are you?" His voice was sharp, demanding, as if he still had any right to an answer. "Where do you think?" I replied, purposefully vague, letting him stew a little in the uncertainty. "Don't play with me," he said. "The apartment's empty. What the hell is going on?" I chuckled softly. I took my things and left. Why? I don't understand. His voice trembled with panic. I smiled. Well, we're divorced now, so naturally, I moved out. There was a long pause. When he finally spoke, his voice was shaky with disbelief. Divorced? Yes, I confirmed with quiet pride. I filed the papers today. From this point on, we're just strangers. No, I don't accept this. His words were filled with impotent rage. Satisfaction surged through me. But you're the one who suggested it. You said it yourself, and as a businessman, you should stand by your words. I didn't wait for his response. The conversation was over, as was everything else. I hung up, my heart pounding with relief, not fear. It was done. The final chapter was written, and I authored it myself. That night, I slept more peacefully than I had in years. All this time, I didn't realize how much weight I'd been carrying until it was gone. Waking up in my own home for the first time in such a long time, I felt free. Sleeping in my own bed felt like a well-deserved reward. No more stress, no more fights, no pretending everything was okay when it wasn't, no more reaching out to his family who treated me like a cash machine. I was just me, finally completely free. The next morning felt surreal. I invited my parents over for the first time since moving, eager to share this new beginning with them. I spent the morning cooking, humming
Write your
to
opinion
myself
in the
as
comments.
the delicious aromas
Don't forget to
filled the
subscribe
kitchen.
to the channel and
It
turn
was a
on
small,
notifications
personal
so
way
you
to
don't miss the
celebrate
next
a moment
interesting
I knew
story.
I'd cherish forever.
See you tomorrow.
When my parents arrived, my mom gasped, taking in the space. "This is incredible," she said, her eyes wide with admiration. My dad smiled, pride all over his face. "You did well, daughter." We raised our glasses to new beginnings, the glasses of sparkling cider clinking in unison. It was a celebration not only of my home, but of everything I'd fought for. My independence, my peace. Laughter filled the room. Warmth I hadn't felt in years. We talked about everything and nothing, just enjoying the moment, knowing I was finally where I was meant to be. Then the doorbell rang. I frowned, puzzled. Who could that be? Curiosity led me to the intercom, and when I looked at the screen, my stomach flipped. Outside stood Michael, his mother, and sister. "What are you doing here?" I asked, disbelief laced in my words. Michael smirked, as if he still owned the place, standing there with his usual audacity, as if he had a right to be there. His confidence was brazen, considering the circumstances. "We're moving in," he said as calmly as if asking for a glass of water. I blinked, unable to process what I'd just heard. "Excuse me?" His mother, of course, chimed in with the same smug expression she always wore. "Your place is big enough for all of us," she stated, as if it was the most logical thing in the world, and my husband is in the hospital. When he gets out, he'll also be living here. Now open the door. It was clear she didn't even realize how absurd her request was. To her, my home, my world, it was simply a given. I looked at them, trying to comprehend the audacity of this situation, then almost laughed in shock as I finally found my voice. "Are you insane? Why would I let you in? Get off my property." Her eyes widened in outrage, as if I'd just slapped her. "How dare you? You're so rude. What's yours is ours. Open this door right now." Her sense of entitlement rang in her voice, the same manipulative tone she had likely used all her life. The only difference this time was that someone was standing in her way. I took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. I had fought too hard for my freedom to let them trample on it again. "I don't know what you're talking about. In case you forgot, I'm single now. I said, trying to keep my voice firm, showing just how absurd this whole situation was. Her face twisted with confusion. She looked genuinely baffled, as if she couldn't comprehend my words. "What do you mean?" she demanded, her tone growing more aggressive. I raised an eyebrow, losing patience. "Didn't your son tell you we're divorced? We're complete strangers now." Saying those words felt liberating. I was not going to back down this time. A tense silence filled the air. Michael's mother and sister turned to him, their eyes demanding an explanation. He stammered, trying to find words, but it didn't matter. I had already made my decision. "None of you are welcome here," I said firmly, breaking the tension. "Please, leave." I didn't wait for an answer. I pressed the button and turned off the intercom. The conversation was over. Michael immediately reacted, pounding on the door, his fists thudding against the wood in fury. "Open up! We need to talk." His panic was obvious, but I remained steadfast. The power was now in my hands. Then I noticed something outside, flashing red and blue lights reflected off my window. My heart skipped a beat. I looked and saw a police car pulling up to my house. For the first time in years, I felt a wave of relief. I stepped back as the officers approached, their presence cutting through the chaos created by Michael and his family. Soon they had him detained, cuffed, and ready to be taken away. I watched, feeling the tension leave my body. This was it, the moment I'd been waiting for. Finally, peace. Finally, freedom. Michael's voice shattered the silence. "Why are you doing this to me?" he shouted, his tone desperate but empty, like a plea no one cared to answer. His mother and sister stood stunned, their shock apparent. The officers didn't arrest them, but firmly guided them away, making it clear they were no longer welcome. I stepped outside, still processing everything that had happened. Then I noticed my father standing aside, as ever calm, watching with quiet confidence. He flashed me a peace sign, smiling as if it were just another day. "In situations like this, always call the police," he said casually, as though teaching me basic self-defense. I laughed, feeling a mix of relief and gratitude. "I love you, Dad," I said sincerely. We returned inside, continuing our celebration with renewed enthusiasm. The tension had lifted, replaced by clinking glasses and genuine laughter. It felt like a true fresh start, as if I could finally breathe completely. Later that night, I learned the full extent of Michael's actions. He had been stalking me, following me from work, waiting for the right moment to make his move. When he admitted this to the police, they took it seriously, making it clear that if he showed up again, he'd be promptly arrested. But I wasn't worried. I knew Michael too well. He was a coward, and after today, he wouldn't dare risk another confrontation. Just to be safe, I filed for a restraining order against him and his entire family. It was time to sever all ties completely. As for Michael, his life quickly fell apart after the divorce. His business, heavily reliant on my financial support, started crumbling. Without my money to keep them afloat, his family struggled with their bills, especially with his father still in the hospital. Eventually, they had to sell the house. Karma had finally caught up with them, and I couldn't deny feeling a sense of satisfaction. For me, life was better than ever. Inviting my parents to move in was an easy decision, and I never doubted it for a moment. Their presence filled my home with warmth that had been missing, and they never tired of reminding me how proud they were and how happy they were to be my parents. Such love and affirmation made every struggle worthwhile. Now we are happy, content, and at peace. The house feels different, filled with laughter, shared meals, and small moments that make each day special. I found my way back to where I truly belong, where love and support turn this house into a real home. I know challenges will come as my parents age, but I'm ready for them. I want to be there for them, just as they were for me, offering not only care, but the same emotional support I have always received. Whether it's organizing their appointments, ensuring they have everything they need, or just sitting with them when they feel lonely, I'll be their reliable presence. I will listen to their stories with patience and give them time and attention they deserve. And when life gets tough, I'll lift them up, just as they have lifted me. This is my chance to show how much they mean to me, how deeply I appreciate all they've done. Every moment matters, the stories, the laughter, the quiet days together. Time moves swiftly, but I intend to cherish every second. For the first time in a long time, I truly feel at home, and nothing and no one will take that away. Did you like the story? Write your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next interesting story. See you tomorrow.